Hey everybody, today is Tasty Tuesday. It's Marion and welcome to Life Unboxed. And by the title, I can imagine that you will know what we're going to do today. Yes, we are going to bake some bread from scratch. Yes, we are. If you want to see this and the rest of this baking video, then you just stay tuned and we'll get right to it. Hey everybody, okay, so today we are going to make some sourdough bread with everything bagel seasoning on the top. So I'm kind of improvising here. I do have a recipe for your basic bread. But instead of having 1.5 cups, 1.5 cups of water, I'm going to use 1 cup of warm water and then 1/2 cup of buttermilk, because I was going to use sour cream, but we don't have any. So this is what's going in. This is the 3 cups of flour here that I've already got measured out, and I used Pillsbury bread flour. And then we have 1/4 teaspoon of yeast. We're going to add that right into the flour mixture. And I forgot to put my apron on. Oh well. And then we're going to have 1.5 teaspoons of salt. This is pink Himalayan salt that we use. Put that in there. And what else? Let's see. Okay, so let me get this. This is what I use to stir the ingredients together, just to get it all blended up and kind of make a little well in the center. Get this a little closer here. Nope, that's better over there. Okay, right there. So it just incorporates the ingredients. I could, I suppose, use a whisk, which I usually do, but since I've got this, I'm going to use this. So basically this recipe is from Artesian Bread Steve. He makes all kinds of artisan breads and basic bread, and that's where I got this recipe basically. Okay, so I'm going to add in the warm water, which it doesn't have to be warm according to Artesian Steve, but I use it because, and this yeast is the active dry yeast, so it's kind of the instant. I'm going to add in the buttermilk now. And then I'm just going to stir and incorporate this and just bring it all together. And it's going to be a shaggy dough because it is not a dough that you actually have to knead. It just proofs for an hour and a half. And then again, you bring it together. You put it out on your board or your counter, and you just bring it all together and put it in your pan, and then you're good to go. And it just rises again for about another hour. So you see, this is becoming a very shaggy dough, and you get it all incorporated. And make sure you get all of the dough or the flour in there. I think I'm going to add just a little bit more water. Hold on. This is a very forgiving recipe, so you can basically add water or flour to make it what it's supposed to be. And I've made this several times before, and it turns out fabulous. So you see how it's all coming together now? It's clean. The bowl is cleaning up around the edges and everything. So that's about what it's supposed to look like. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a little bit of this grapeseed oil, just like in my hand, and I'm going to rub it around the bowl a little bit and just kind of tap it around on the dough. And then I'm going to cover this. Did I bring a towel with me to clean my hands? I didn't, but here I got one now. I'm going to cover this with plastic wrap. Of course, I got the cheap plastic wrap from the Dollar Tree. You get what you pay for, right? Alright, so I'm just going to wrap it, or cover it, I mean, and it's going to go in my oven right over here with the light on, and it's going to sit in there for an hour and a half. And then when that proofs in an hour and a half, I will be back and show you what it looks like. And you know it's going to be just like that. Here it is. It's almost doubled in size. And I turned the oven on for 400. I did a little more mixing, and this is going to rise for another 30 minutes while I get the bread pan prepared. Let me show you the pan I'm using. Alright, sorry about that. This is the pan I'll be using, and I'm going to grease it up with some butter, and then in 30 minutes this should rise a little more and the oven will be ready. Alright, I'll see you in 30. Okay, that was not the pan that I wanted. This is the pan that I wanted. Okay, so I'm buttering it really generously with butter, because everything's better with butter. And then I'm going to sprinkle everything but the bagel, in the bottom of this pan, because we want the bottom of the bread to be as flavorful as the top of the bread. Alright, 30 minutes. I'll be back. Okay, so we're done with the rising of the dough, and it did rise a little, not quite as much as normal, but I think it might be the weather today, because it's really, really rainy and overcast and warm and hot and muggy, and so I don't know. So I've got this pan all ready with the seasoning on the bottom, and I'm just going to take this dough and I'm just going to plop it right in that pan and get it out of here. And I already got the oven set. I'm just going to make this fit the pan and put the seasoning on it. I'm going to make some cuts in this bread also. Okay, that's how I've got that. And then we're going to finish putting the seasonings on the top. And push them in a little bit. Put them in the oven. And 30 minutes, we'll return with a full baked everything but the bagel seasoning. All right, bread. This is the finished product. However, I don't think it rose like it should have. So I may have to do this again next week, but we're going to put it out on the tray and see what it looks like. This is what the bottom looks like, which looks pretty nice. And then I'm going to switch it over. And this is what the top looks like. And we're going to slice a piece and see what the inside looks like. Alright, so it's pretty dense in there, and you can see the smoke, the steam coming out from it. That's what it looks like inside. And I'm going to have my daughter taste test it and see what she thinks. Here's the moment of truth.
Here we go. It's good. Just needs butter.
This is what the bottom looks like, which looks pretty nice. And then I'm going to switch it over. And this is what the top looks like. And we're going to slice a piece and see what the inside looks like. Right, so it's pretty dense in there, and you can see the smoke, the steam coming out from it. That's what it looks like inside. And I'm going to have my daughter taste test it and see what she thinks. Here's the moment of truth.
Here we go. It's good. Just needs butter.
Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed Tasty Tuesday's bread making video. I think because the barometric pressure or something was off today with the weather, it didn't rise like it was supposed to, but it's got the consistency of like an English muffin, and so I think it's going to be delicious toasted with butter. Now, our butter was frozen. That's why we didn't have any butter on that bread. I didn't realize that. I should have prepared myself, but I didn't. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that little bell, and that'll tell you when I upload another video. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Until the next video, be kind to one another. It is a rough world out there, and I love you all. Bye now.